Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for a video series. Create channel, move it in a direction away from gaming. Some may have noticed that all of the old content was removed. Some of that was because I didn't feel it met the standard. And you could tell some of the videos had mere dozens of views after being online for 2 or 3 years. And then some of it was because the people in the video either revoked their consent, or I was not able to secure consent for public viewing, publication, whatever. It's fine. It's more of a fresh start. Let's start over. What do I want to do? What do I do? Well, part of the problem is I do a lot of shit. I do fixing. I do troubleshooting. I say fixing, I mean repair. And I repair a lot of things for a lot of people. And a lot of it is, repair that I do for myself or whatever. In the community, I am a locksmith, which means, fixing and figuring out keys mainly for cars. But sometimes I end up troubleshooting computer systems in the cars or other gremlins and glitches and whatnots. So, I think what I'm going to be doing is focusing mainly on quick fixes, jury rigs, improvisation, whatever you want to call it. Repairs that are necessary repairs for whatever reason, but not necessarily the correct quote-unquote way. You'll hear people say there's a right way and a wrong way when it comes to doing things, fixing things. That's true. It's very true. There's a right way and there's a wrong way. There's also a whole lot of it'll work ways, adequate ways. I'm going to try and show you either the right way or the adequate way in various circumstances to fix it and get moving again, get back on the road or finish the job or whatever it is, and then take it to a shop, an independent local shop, to get it done the right way as soon as you can. And I understand sometimes as soon as you can means when the snow melts, when the ice is gone, the rain stops. Sometimes it means when you can afford it, and I get that. I'm not going to be throwing the most expensive way to do things out there. I'm not going to be saying, yeah, well, I mean, you can do it with this $20 tool, but you're supposed to do it with this $200 tool, so we're going to use that. If I have the $200 tool, then I may show you. But I'm going to show you the way to do things with the $20 tool or the $2 tool. Because, again, this isn't about the right way, it's about the adequate way. The necessary way, maybe. Anyways, today I am going out to fix a trailer, taillight housing, taillight assembly, whatever. I wired this trailer up for this gentleman a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, 2.5, I don't know. And apparently while he was backing into his driveway a few days ago, a house jumped out and got in the way, and he broke the taillight off the corner of the trailer. So he's asked me to come out and sort that out for him. He's got a replacement already, so I don't have to buy that. and I have all the stuff I need to reconnect the new light to the wiring, and I think we're good. I've also got testers just in case there's more than one break in the wire that he's not aware of, which happens especially when you when you have a house jump out in front of you and you knock a light fixture off the side of a trailer or a truck or whatever. It will yank on the wiring harness, grab the wires and pull on them, and if they're not secured on the frame or in the housing or whatever, then it'll pull the wires inside, whatever, the conduit, the raceway, wherever it is that they're hiding. And so it might break the wires somewhere else in the trailer, as well as right there with the housing connects, housing meets up. So yeah, I'm gonna go out there, take a look at it, and do a quick continuity test. I have the $200 tool for that. Well, I have the Chinese clone of the $200 tool. So, I have the $120 tool or the $80 tool or whatever. But I've also got a multimeter with continuity check on it. And I've also got a car battery. And a multimeter. And I've got a test light. So, yeah, we'll get her. It won't be too difficult to make sure all the wires are still intact. And you want to do that before doing any of the hookup, any of the, connecting the light assembly to the harness. Because if you got to rerun the wire, if you have to rerun the wire, then having already connected it to the light just means that you're going to be using another barrel connector or another splice or another whatever. And that's the other thing. I'm going to use barrel connectors that are heat shrink wrapped with heat shrink tubing, because that's the right way to do it for long term, for longevity. Yes, you can do a twist splice or a NASA splice. NASA splice is where the wires, you interlock them and then twist them together and fold them over to create a pinch, which absorbs any pulling and transmits it along the wire to the rest of the wire, so you can pull the whole thing instead of just pulling out the splice, the connection. Yes, you could do it that way. You could do it that way and solder them, definitely. Or you can use a crimp. And NASA, and I call it a NASA splice because back in the late 60s, NASA commissioned a bunch of tests on how to connect wires in the best way so that they can, hold up to the rigors of space travel without failing. It seems like an important thing to know, especially if you're going to throw people, lock them in tin cans and throw them out into space. So I commissioned a bunch of tests, and what they discovered, every 10 years or so gets brought back up in electronics and technician, automotive, aviation, whatever. It gets brought up across multiple industries every few years, because some of it is counterintuitive. NASA discovered that a crimped connection, when the right crimp is used, the right size crimp, like the barrel, And you'll see there's different sizes of barrel connectors. When the right barrel connector is used on the right gauge of wire and crimped correctly, it is as strong physically and has the same electrical and thermal conductivity as a soldered connection. The difference being, in order to do a crimp, you need a tool that can crimp, squeeze two things together really hard. And depending on what you're crimping together, yes, that can be your fingers. No, it shouldn't be. Pliers, channel locks, a crimping tool, a hammer, and an anvil of some type. These all work to crimp. The crimping tool is best because it applies pressure evenly to all sides, or to the right sides of the crimp. But yeah, you can use other things, again, if needed, to form an adequate repair until you can get it done correctly. Soldering requires a soldering iron or a source of heat sufficient to melt the solder. Lead-based solder is certainly convenient because it's got a low melting point, but it's also, you know, apparently somewhat hazardous to breathe. Fumes, lead fumes, and stick with this wire. As a result, tin solder or other alloys are more commonly available and have a higher melting temperature. So you need a soldering iron with a sufficient amount of wattage. A 100-watt iron is fine for little projects. Probably not going to work great for some of the larger connections. And you got to be able to power it or fuel it, whatever it is. So you're not going to be looking at soldering in some emergency situations unless you just happen to have a soldering iron handy and available and charged or fueled, and there's great kits out there for portable soldering equipment, but you're probably not going to have it with you when you need it unless you're one of those people, and I'm one of those people, that, you know, keeps everything possible with them when they might possibly need it. Most people don't do that. So crimping's usually the way to go. You do, however, need a barrel to crimp with. And if you don't have that, there are, again, ways you can improvise. But barrel connectors are cheap if you can afford them. And they take up less space on a soldering iron in your kit. So, all right. I'm going to go out here and talk to this gentleman for a minute. And then we'll take a look and see how bad the damage is and what we need to do to fix it. up? Yeah, just turn the headlights on and turn the hazards on. No. No. Hold up. Alright, you got it in reverse right now? Yeah. Stop. Just leave it for a second. Nope. Put it back. Okay. Put it back. Alright. Cool. Alright, so that was strong. Alright, put the hazards on. Okay. Alright. Let me check the wire here.
Yeah, I figured it'd be nice to be out of elements.
What's that?
Oh, I didn't think it was gonna rain today, but I thought, well,
Yeah.
you don't normally have a garage door in, now you do, so.
Also true. Okay, so we got 2 hot wires and the ground. And we should be getting 12 volts intermittently on one and 12 volts constant on the other. If not, then this is not a issue with the light, it's an issue with the wiring. Okay. 9, 10, 11. That's the intermittent. And we're not getting any flashing at all of the light, right?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Another benefit of using barrel connectors, you don't have to cut the wire to test it. You stuff the probe down into the crimp. I think my multi-tester's lost its damn mind. So, right now, I should be getting no voltage, right?
Yeah.
It's not connected to anything. It's showing me 1,000 volts. It's mental. That's fine. I've got a test light in there. I gotta do it that way. I gotta do it that way.
fact, I don't even know for sure when I hit whatever I hit. You know, so one day I took this up to go raid or someplace. I've got some junk I'm gonna take there today.
Yeah. I think it seems got that battery. People straight across the street from us as well. I tell them, they go down these junk, they've been working on their vehicle a while, so we've got some car parts in here too. I said, well, if it's here, put it in there. Well, put it up here by the Roswell. Right.
Get it later.
Okay. Test light.
I've got one in someplace.
Got like 4 of them. Every now and then I can't find them, so I go buy another. But one way or another, something's boogered up, so we're going to do it. Well, it's hot, but
You want
I'm not
something,
too worried about 12 volts.
you want something set on?
Not yet.
I found a child's
Oh, what
office
is-
chair.
Oh, nice. I got a couple. The house
Wait,
skids.
I got mine. Oh, here. This what shut.
No, I got a
Right here.
You're a stripper.
Oh, you need the stripper, yeah. Now, someone's probably a little upset because I found this in the Walmart parking lot. Pretty nice night. And I use it a lot at McDonald's. I open up boxes and stuff in the freezer and whatnot.
This over here.
Oh,
That way I can see what I'm doing. Well, somebody can see what I'm doing. Okay, so one of these should give me a flashing signal. Hey, look at there.
Ooh.
One of these should give me a constant signal. Look at there.
So what's the minute of the light?
Don't know.
I didn't do it. I thought maybe because whatever I hit, broke this and went in and damaged the components inside
It
it.
should only be a LED and possibly a transistor to boost the voltage to make sure the LED has at least the 6 volts it needs or 3 volts it needs, whatever it is that it uses.
Yeah.
Should, but no.
We will get to the bottom of it eventually. Yeah, for whatever reason there at McDonald's, they all of a sudden scheduled me off for a whole damn week for about 2 or 3 days. I said, what the hell is this? So I said, you guys trying to schedule me right out the door or something?
Right.
And I said, no. There was some mix-up. I still didn't quite understand what she told me. Possibly they could schedule me.
Carriage bolt, and I didn't want to.
Glass strip or something?
Yeah, that'd be handy. I wasn't expecting as much metal corrosion, or I would have brought the wrenches, but it's all good. WD-40 is not a lubricant. It is a water displacer. That's what the WD stands for. It will protect things and keep them from rusting, which is what it's supposed to do. But once it's already rusted, WD-40 is not going to help.
Oh, I always thought it was pretty good stuff.
Hey, it is. It can be. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what torqued it, but it definitely decided it was done. Yeah.
I don't
No, I was narrating earlier. I mentioned it was about two and a half years ago, I think.
Ooh,
It's been a minute.
that's quite a while then. Yeah, I must have just recently hit that with something. I don't know what, like I said.
It's all
I feel
good.
like it's somewhat exposed the way that it's set up.
Yeah, most trailers are a little, and they even gave us new hardware, so we're gonna use it.
I ain't even got a nut driver.
Yeah, we got.
Can't almost hit the toy out and put it
No, we just need to. There. All right, those in place. Tuck this down so it doesn't get pinched like the other ones did. I do notice the gap here is still small, but
yeah,
it's sufficient.
kind of a protector.
Well,
2 sets of lights. I mean holes.
driver's side. That's why.
Oh, I got the wrong side.
Well, this is going to be facing in. That's not going to help a lot. I can flip it over. Your reverse light's going to face up. Other than that, doesn't really matter. But because of these, it will slide down and will not be trapped by these. But I don't think it's going to be a problem because we're going to tighten it up pretty good. What I'm mainly worried about is that we have clearance. It looks like we have clearance.
Yep. Now the other, when you had it in there before, you had in the bottom set of lights, a hole.
So we're going to nudge these up a little bit.
Gotta tighten it up.
So it'll have so it'll mount flush. And yeah, mainly what I'm worried about is that we have there. So it'll be flush, and when we tighten these down, it'll trap it, and it should keep it from going anywhere. We'll first put on the flat washer, keep it from going through, and then put the lock washer on. And put the nut on.
I never was very smart on electrical stuff, and so most of the time, it's either you or in Lawrence, I had a couple of guys work with me and stuff like that. I never really had a trailer at all until we moved here. We had to have a pickup truck, or we had a station wagon, a 4-trailer wagon. All of our vehicles, including this one, gets used a lot for scrapping.
Sure.
But I was hoping once I set up all right that I wouldn't have to stick stuff inside and keep on running in. I want something easier to work.
We got these are my big fence pliers, so they are lineman's pliers. I guess they're fence pliers. So I don't have a socket. They work in a pinch for most stuff as long as it's not
I got a lot of
hard
sockets in here.
screwed up.
Nothing's organized.
Now, I put that on there and then forgot to put the ground on. I am also smart.
That was something else. The ground wire that's hooked up to the chassis underneath there, that came loose, and I had to find another screw that would hold it. The screw messed up. After I got tired. So it should be pretty solid.
Okay. Yeah, found the nut. Tried to run away. Lazy layabout. Now.
Yeah, I'm going to use that carpet that I got in there. I had it in the other one. This was the board and the tires are, I mean, if anything that slipped, there's no grip, and I can't get to go up in the trailer. So.
Okay, the yellow wire goes to the turn, and the brown wire goes to the constant. There's brown wire, there's yellow wire. Now, couple barrel connectors.
And I have a little bit of that kind of stuff. It's kind of scattered around that good organization.
Oh yeah.
Well, this toolbox right here, the guy only wanted $10 for it. And I said, $10? And that surely ain't with all the tools. They had all these tools in there.
Oh yeah. Some people just want to get rid of it. They don't know what's in it. They don't care. They don't know what it's worth.
He knew what was in it. That's why I was asking him. He said, no, dude, you can't have my tools.
Aw.
Darn
it.
You do
Darn
have
it.
a lot of nice stuff in there.
Right. Okay. So we'll put our
figure I'd be that damn
heat shrink on first, because if we don't, we'll forget. And it's a lot harder to put heat shrink on once you've already crimped it. It's a whole lot harder. In fact, at that point, it's not heat shrink, it's tape. And tape will come apart. Okay, so we're going to double check. Make sure this is our constant. That's constant. And again, according to the installation, brown wire goes to the constant circuit. We're testing it. Looks good. Okay. Give it a twist. Make sure that we don't have the wires all splayed out and missing the barrel, because it's not a very good connector if the wires aren't connected.
There it goes.
High voltage, you definitely don't want to be doing this live. Low voltage, it actually kind of helps to troubleshoot things, because you can see immediately if you have it.
To have that on so you could see it.
But for lamps, it's probably okay. For electronics, you don't want to do it this way. Yeah.
This side's flashing.
Yeah, because you got your hazards on.
Yeah.
So just a second, and this side will be flashing too.
I had this constant trouble. That's why I asked you about. I just want to rewire the whole damn thing. Take it all out.
Yeah.
People kept coming up. You realize your lights are flashing off and on back here? Yes, I know.
Yeah. Well, on this, your connector has got some corrosion in it, so when you were trying to connect it a second ago, it kept cutting in and out. So you need to clean that connector out with some vinegar in it,
Oh,
and then let it sit for half an hour or so, and then come back and put some baking soda water in it, rinse it out, and then rinse it out with plain water. That'll get rid of that corrosion without you having to do too much in the way of, you know, like an acid bath or something. Vinegar is an acid, but it's very mild. Household vinegar is. Okay. And we slide our heat shrinks over our crunch. A little bit extra room there. Make sure I don't screw up and leave the crimp out in the weather. Leave one end out. Then take our trusty lighter and hope that it lights. Take our other trusty lighter. There we go. Neither one of these are trusty. I have a heat gun that I normally use for this. Or Zippo. Not yet. It's lighting, but it's going out immediately. There. And there's not like it's a lot of wind over here.
That's one reason why I put it in here. I figured it out.
Well, the funny part is for a long time I used a MAP tank, propane tank. Yeah, lighter. That'll work. Yeah, it's just not got enough pressure, and it's full. And it doesn't have enough pressure to actually.
There you go. Stay there. Here.
Yeah, that'll work.
Hold that up.
And be less embarrassing. Yeah, I get it. I've got one.
Hold
So I use these for fire, but I also use them for all sorts of other things. Okay, there we go.
That's what you need, I think. Oh, bam.
Heat gun does make short work of this, but heat guns, cost 20, 30 bucks. And you got to have power, right? My heat guns are both 110.
Yeah.
So if I don't have a good supply of 110 volts, then my heat gun doesn't work. And they pull a lot of power. I have tripped a circuit in the house more than once by using the heat gun and turning it up to high heat. And it'll run for about 2 seconds and then pop, there goes the breaker. And those are 15 amp breakers. So 15 amps times 120 volts is.
I was out here cutting one day with my carpenter saw here, and I got a lot plugged in, I guess. I don't think I had that much. Because on every plug-in out here has stuff in it. The freezer over it does. Has stuff plugged in over here. Got about halfway through the board.
Pop. Yep.
Fine. Not hard to fix.
Yeah, with motors, it's the startup that has the surge. With stuff like heaters, they're resistive loads, and so they get more resistive, which means they get hotter, but also means they consume more power as they get warm. So your heater on startup, your little resistive heater, doesn't use as much current. But then as it heats up and starts glowing, it starts using more current, more amperage.
So on that light, since it's that part is up like that, so does the backup light come on?
It might, but if it comes on, you're probably not going to see it unless you happen
That's
to.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's fine. You only need one
Yeah.
legally. At least legal in this state, you only need one. Some states are different. Check your local
Well,
state.
I don't actually anymore.
Check your local ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
There's your lighter back.
you can have this one.
That works.
I have
Now,
a bunch of them.
I've got a dozen in the house, and these, I'm honestly probably going to take them apart and figure out why the... So this one might just need to be fueled, because it's almost empty. See, and it works when I shake it up.
Here's showing a little bit over half full.
This one I filled, but it's not putting any pressure. So I suspect this one's got a clog in the, or a kink in the hose, internal. But yeah. Anyways, all right. Now we collect all of my junk.
So
This is liquid electrical tape,
oh,
and it is extra insurance for things. And again, it's not something that a lot of people have, but it's something a few people remember to grab whenever they go somewhere like Fry's. So I'm going to dab some in there where the wires go into the housing to keep the...
very sticky stuff.
No, this is actually, no, this is rubber cement. I thought this was my liquid electrical tape. All right, I'm 2 for 2 today. Never mind. I mean, it's not going to hurt it to throw and go in there, but it's probably not the same level of protection that the liquid E-tape will give it. I don't know. Liquid E-tape may just be rubber cement dyed black. I don't know. It smells a lot worse, so I don't think that's the case, but we could use silicone caulk. That would also be fine to seal it up, and it's probably okay not sealed. Again, it's a low voltage application, so I'll take these.
So how much do you want for what you've done
You know how it works. If you have money to give me, pay what you can. If you don't worry about it.
Tomorrow's payday at Mickey D's. If
Okay.
we get much, because like I said, now they not like most places. You know, you don't get your first check, you get the next one.
Yeah, no,
So that's the one I'm looking forward to. I had a lot of hours on that.
if you can help, cool. If you can't, cool. You're back on the road. You're good. Good to go.
So
And
did you get fixed? You were under a car or something? You get that?
what's that?
Yesterday when I called, I'm under a car.
I was in the middle of doing an alternator for somebody who couldn't afford it. So I was in the middle of fighting with that tensioner. Okay, sure. Thank you. I was in the middle of fighting with the tensioner belt, and when you called, so technically wasn't under the car, but I had both arms in the car, and I was fighting the spring. So if I lost my grip, then, well, the previous 2 times when I lost my grip, the ratchet went flying under the car and into pieces, into stuff under the chassis. So yeah.
One other thing I wonder about.
All right. So, yep, whatever he hit, which was his house, it apparently damaged the circuit board or the timing IC, something. There's a voltage protection IC there on the side, and yeah, if that took a hit, then it's basically not going to work. So yeah, he's got to fix that connector, get it cleaned up. Wire brush will probably help, but the terminal side, the plug in, the female part of the connector. Kind of hard to get wire brush in there unless you've got a little bitty one. They do make like bottle brushes and stuff. You could use that. Or, you know, like I said, take a cup of vinegar, stick the connector down in the vinegar, swish it around, wait 30 minutes, swish it around some more, pull it out, stick it in a cup of baking soda and water, swish it around, pull it out, stick it in a cup of water, swish it around, pull it out. That's it. That'll probably be enough. So, got a whole lot more things I got to work on, a whole lot more things to fix, and a few things to sell. I've got news about what I called Grumblebee, which is the 1983 AMC Eagle SX4 that I bought from Dalton at Pole Barn Garage last year, and got some exciting news about it. And if you have any requests, if there's things that you'd like me to explain, fix, break, identify, talk about, put it in the comments, let me know. I live to serve. So, if there's something that you don't know about and you want to know more about it, and there's a chance I might be able to explain it, tell you about it, get your learn on. I will help in every way I can. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and be good to each other. Stay cool.